Story 17. Several men were in my company whose external appearance displayed the adornment of piety. A great man who had conceived a very good opinion of these persons had assigned them a fixed allowance, but after one of them had done something unbecoming the profession of dervishes, his opinion changed, and they fell into disgrace. I desired in some way to save the allowance of my friends, and intended to wait upon the great man, but the doorkeeper would not allow me to enter, and was rude. I pardoned him, because it has been said, the door of an emir, vizier, or sultan is not to be approached without an introduction. When a dog or doorkeeper sees a stranger, the former takes hold of his skirt, the latter of his collar. When those who could at any time approach the presence of the said great man became aware of my case, they took me in with compliments and desired to assign me a high seat. But I humbly took a lower one and said, allow me, who am the smallest slave, to sit in the line of slaves. He said, Allah, Allah, what need is there for such words? If thou sittest on my head and eyes, I shall be polite, for thou art polite. Well, doesn't politics kind of rest somewhere in between citizen and polite in its origins? It's got a long ways, right? In short, I took a seat and we conversed on a variety of topics till the affair of the error of my companions turned up, and I said, what crime has my lord seen, who was bountiful, to make the slave despicable in his sight? To God that magnanimity and bounty is surrendered, which beholds the crime, but nevertheless bestows the bread. The governor, being pleased with these words, ordered the support of my friends to be attended to as before, and the arrears be made good. I expressed a gratitude, kissed the ground of obedience, apologized for my boldness, and said, since the Kaaba has become the Qibla of wants from distant lands, the people go to visit it for many parsangs. Thou must suffer the importunity of such as we are, because no one throws stones on a tree without fruit. And let us remember that there's the Islamic principle of sitting and all that within a gathering, that even the person leading doesn't necessarily, sit or stand in a place. It just makes it absolutely clear, here's the ruler, right? When it's a religious gathering, of course, obviously, but when you go to the to the ruler of a country, it's going to be different typically. But even when Muhammad was elected leader of Yathrib, which later became Medina Nabi, sometimes people had to ask, okay, where's Muhammad? And it seems that based on the Bible, the idea was the same with Jesus too. People didn't really necessarily know who Jesus was. He didn't stand apart. So he couldn't have been, like me in a white robe,